I'm Brian Posehn. You may know me from my stand-up comedy, or from the TV shows I've been on, like the Sarah Silverman program. I love comic books, metal, and anything nerdy, except furries. They're gross. But that does include Dungeons & Dragons, which I've been playing with the same group of my funny friends for a decade now. So we decided to record us playing the game and turn it into a podcast, and we call it...
Nerd Poker. Dungeons & Dragons with Brian Posehn and friends.
Blaine! Ken!
Sarah!
Sark! Don't forget Gerry!
Hey everybody, my name is Brian Posehn, and you're listening to Nerd Poker, Dungeons and Dragons with Brian Posehn and friends.
What the hell?
I've always wondered what the proper pronunciation was.
We just suddenly went to Denmark or something. Dungeons and Dragons.
First of all, a bit of business. We're still down 2 players. Mm-hmm. Actually, we're down 3 because Blackie is outside.
Yeah,
But
he can't join us just yet.
He's studying.
As soon as Ken and I get us through this, and then we're playing for Mildred too.
Yep.
Sarah is still not here. She will be back. Do not worry.
And Gerry is probably right now lurking on the Earwolf forums, just masturbating furiously to all the
Sir Richard
the condolences
praise.
for Sir Richard. Yep.
And rolling up whatever he's going to be next.
They liked me.
We don't know when he's coming back in.
Yeah.
But
I don't even know.
Nope.
We've talked briefly, but busy days, I guess, so.
So let's get to the quick. I haven't been on the road, so I haven't received cash lately, but we have a donor, Hector Cruz, sent us some money, $100. Thanks,
Thank
Hector.
you.
Holy shit.
Yeah, very nice, Hector.
Thanks,
And
Hector.
he's from Seattle, which
I wonder if Hector is going to go to PAX. I keep telling these guys that Nerd Poker needs to go to PAX. So now all you listeners rally, back me up on this.
I love that con up there, Emerald City, but I'm skipping it this year. It's a great
I've never
con.
been to Emerald City.
Oh, so
It's
fun.
awesome.
Yeah, great.
When is PAX?
PAX Prime is in Seattle, and I forget because PAX East is in Boston. It's coming up next, but I'll look it up. It's
right.
yeah. Every time I go to PAX, tons of Nerd Poker love.
I bet.
I'll consider it.
Let's. What happened last week? I forget.
All right, so you guys
Not really.
had
Oh yeah.
yeah, you had put into action your plan to kill the Nasher, the sort of the man rat's hound, and it had taken the form of dropping poison sugar cubes into its water bowl, which Blackie did on a sort of super stealth recon mission as an invisible flying levitating rat. And then he's fallen back to the rat base, and you guys have been. He cast invisibility on Bart, Mildred, and Damien, and you moved into Nasher's room so you could get a confirmation of the kill. At the very end of our last episode, you realized that you might be invisible, but if it had a keen sense of smell, which would be a safe assumption, that it might be able to smell you. And Bart, you had an idea of smearing Nasher shit on yourself.
Yep.
Which was actually really good, and so it was a good idea. It's a terrible experience, but
Is it cold shit?
yeah.
I still have a cough. Sorry.
Is that better or worse? Cold shit or warm shit to rub on yourself?
Ugh.
I think it's better
Cold?
if you asked me. Yeah.
Cold, yeah. Yeah,
Something about warm, just it feels like it's still sort of organic, kind of. I don't know. Ugh. Either way, they're going in. Mildred and Bart, especially Mildred, thought that idea was good. So
Thank
you guys
Mildred.
were elbow deep in piles of. It was like the dinosaur crap in Jurassic Park.
Oh, yeah. Sure.
And as you smear it on, as long as you keep it relatively sort of even, the invisibility spell continues to cover it.
I like it.
And you all saved against vomiting successfully.
goodness.
So, yeah, no one...
I came really close.
No one puked. Yeah, you did.
You all came really close listening to me.
But you guys post up now with a thin layer of poo-poo on you.
Yay, poo-poo.
And you are listening very carefully for any signs of approach, as well as anything. Blackie, when he was in here before, reported hearing a faint sort of discordant string plucking harp sound, but you haven't been able to hear it, and you're not sure if it's because you are low to the floor while he was flying, or maybe it's his elf rat hearing.
Ugh.
Either way, you don't hear any of that. You wait for, and the invisibility will last for 24 hours unless you cast or attack or do something really outlandish, so you're good on that. You wait for what you would guess to be about an hour and a half. And you're maintaining you're maintaining like absolute silence. You guys aren't screwing around at all. And about an hour and a half into your stakeout, you hear the sort of, you feel it first, and then hear the sort of thumping of somebody walking. Being this small, even on these stone floors, you can sort of feel the approach before you hear it. The room lightens up a bit as the door swings open, and a long shadow casts across the floor from outside in the hall, all the way across the room and up the wall. And you see a man-rat arm sort of holding the door open, and then padding into view, towering like 60, 70 feet up, is this huge, you recognize the fur and the sort of the matted fur pattern from what you saw sleeping in here before, but this sort of like knotted, like muscle bound, almost like a bulldog, but the head has these like teeth that are all sticking out at different angles, almost like boar tusks, but it's just a big knot of teeth and muscle. It's like its lower jaw sticking way out below the top jaw, and it sort of lurches in, and it barks barks. It sounds like almost like a squeal, but and it sort of snaps at the man rat, which is just out of sight. You can still just see its arm holding the door open. And in response to that, it gets like two real swift kicks, like right in the ribs. The man rat kicks it. It sort of, whines a bit and, runs over to the back corner of the room. Not the corner opposite you. So not the bold corner, but the opposite corner, yeah. Runs around, curls up, sits down, sort of like... it's hard to say. It looks like it's pouting because it looks like a fucking gigantic monster, but it seems sort of petulant. And the door slams shut. You hear the man rat walk away, and you're left in this sort of twilight room with the Nasher. It buzzes around for a minute, and it sort of seems bored. At one point, it lays down. Rolls around on its back, kicks its feet in the air, and then sort of lopes over to its bowls, and you see it just tuck into the food bowl first. All you can see from your angle in the corner that you're at is like it's a little bit of its side, and it's like its back legs, and it's just got its head buried in the bowl. And then it turns to its water bowl, and you hear like really loud,
Love it.
like slurping up of this poisoned water.
Yes.
Yay, laps it up.
When the lapping sound stops, you, all three of you at the same time, faintly hear the sound of like almost like two harp strings, very faint. Being just gently, almost like as if you walked into a room and blindly just thumped 2 harp strings with like the tip of your fingers, just very faint. It's very unusual and very quiet, and you wouldn't have you couldn't have heard it even over the sound of the Nasher lapping at its water bowl way in the corner. But you hear it very distinctly, and it's coming from above you somewhere, much like Blackie reported. And looking up, you can't see. It's dark enough in here, you can't see the ceiling. But above you, I mean, you can see a decent distance up the wall, and you don't see anything, at least halfway up.
What's Nasher doing?
Nasher, it took a beat or two, and then just went right back to the bowl. So you just hear it, just slurping up the water. You guys are waiting to see if he's gonna like suddenly freak out, or you're waiting to see the reaction. I mean, that's why you came in here. So you're chilling. He stops drinking and he goes and lays down in the corner where he initially went when he was kicked into the room. And it looks like he lays down and goes to sleep. He's not like snoring or anything, but he just goes and lays down over there. You faintly hear another harp string pluck.
I kind of want to get out of here now, or at least hang under the door.
Yeah.
Because we know he's.
I don't like the harp. Oh, sorry.
We know he's drank. He's drank.
I was way back from the mic because of the cough. In the other room.
He's. It seems like he's had a lot of the water.
Yeah.
All right.
I'm okay with heading away.
Let's go back and check in.
I don't like the harp.
No, I don't either.
Okay.
And we can, tell Bruce that he drank all the water. So what does that mean?
Okay. So you guys move. Along the wall. As soon as you move, you hear a sharp, like a harp string being like a high piano string being clipped with like wire cutters. Ding! And you turn just in time to hear like almost like a faint like a clicking. And you see, like, dropping down onto the floor right where you were at with to scale with you guys now, about 100 feet of thread hanging out of its abdomen. You see a bulbous black spider
Running away.
land on the floor right where you were at.
Running away.
It's about the size of, half the size of one of you. So, I mean, it seems monstrous.
Yeah, running away from it.
Okay.
Running to the door.
All right, so you guys,
As
and you're
visibly
still,
and stinkily
you're
as possible.
still invisible, and you smell like turd. But you guys book. You're not sure how the spider, if it was just chance, or if the spider was tracking you somehow.
It hit a web.
But it looks like as you guys run, it pursues you. So there's something that it's able to detect about you that is not connected to vision at all.
Shit smell. Fucking assholes.
I don't even think spiders they can't smell, right? I don't think they can. Yeah. It's something else. So you guys are running?
I'm checking to see if I have any web attached to me anywhere. Shut off me.
No web attached to you. It looks like you sort of put together.
Sorry, everybody.
It sounds like the web. It might have been it sort of unspooling and moving across the web might have created the faint sounds you heard, and that once you moved, it cut it and dropped down.
Dropped down. Shit. What if we stand still?
Well,
it'll keep moving in the direction it was moving.
Maybe, unless it's picking you up on another level. It sounded like, because you guys heard the sort of the approach while you were still in super stealth mode. So it was closing on you even when you were being super still. So probably running is the best. I'm being Mildred now.
Yeah, no, okay.
So you guys bail. It skitters along behind you, and it's like a nightmare-inducing, but you, as rats, are easily able to outdistance this thing. So you skitter across the floor. The Nasher doesn't move at all. It looks like it's sound asleep in the corner.
Or dead.
Or dead. From here, you can't tell. But you guys book to the door. Give a real brief look, because you can hear the fingernail clicking on stone sound of the spider coming up behind you. And then bail out.
He's himself more than anyone.
Yeah, I don't like it. I hate myself. Bail out the door, cross the hall, into the other door, into the rat base, and we can get Blaine in here.
All right.
Okay, Blaine.
Ugh. I'm going to throw up about this.
Spiders.
The critter stopped following you at the. It didn't enter the hall, so it stopped at the door.
Fucking spider. Hey, we found out what was making those pretty harp noises.
What was it? Please don't say pretty harp.
It was a pretty harpist. There's harpo marks. It was a fucking spider.
Really?
Yeah, we ran away from it.
Ah.
How do we smell?
It wasn't singing. It was like a web. The gentle
webs.
movement across the web that was making the sounds. But,
Oh, isn't that sweet?
Are we still invisible?
yeah, you guys are still invisible. I brought Blaine in now, but Blaine, you are in studying and talking, with Bruce and
Ratting out.
discussing. Yeah, just ratting out. When all of a sudden, the faint sound of footsteps and a wall of feces stink hits you. In fact, roll real quick.
I'm gonna do a take to the camera.
Roll real quick a +5 save versus poison.
7.
What's your
13.
15? So you need it. Yeah. Oh wait,
12.
it doesn't. The way the stink hits you so hard,
You puke.
your stomach turns and you vomit on the floor.
Okay.
And then you hear the sound of laughter.
Do we have to do a Stand By Me sort of roll to not puke after he pukes?
Oh yeah, okay, do that. Make that. This is not as disgusting though, so make this
As the
one
shit smell?
a +6
Okay.
save versus poison. God, I hope everyone vomits right now.
On each other.
19.
Aw.
That's an easy
you're fine.
save.
Yeah.
All right, pass the tower down here. Let's see if Mildred.
Don't puke, Mildred.
14.
Listeners are rolling not to puke.
I'm good.
None of you do. All you do is
Here,
laugh.
hold on. I want to see if I puke again. Yeah, I totally puke again.
So your friends.
Wait, hold on just a second. I think some got up my nose. Yep.
Blackie's chain vomiting. Hold on, let me see the tower real
Get
quick.
him some liquids.
So you're in a crowd.
I'm going to dehydrate.
That's 1, 2. That's a 1 and a 2. All right, that guy saved. All right, so, that's a 3. So 3 of the 6 rats, once you start vomiting uncontrollably, 3 of the 6 rats near you also do. Bruce seems completely immune to it. He must have seen some real shit as a rat apothecary.
Also, he worked at P.F. Chang's for a while.
So you're not sure still what the horrible odor is, but you can hear your invisible friends laughing. Their invisibility, they haven't broken their invisibility yet, but
They smell horrible.
I think
Yeah.
we need a bath.
All right.
yeah, how do you...
I'm gonna roll. I'm gonna hit him with my tomato juice spell.
So you can cancel your spell. It's all your spell. So the spell remains in effect until it's magically broken or dispelled, until you cancel it, until the recipient attacks, or 24 hours later. So you could cancel it off of them if you wanted. But
Are you guys cool? Do you? Can I turn this
I'm
thing
okay.
off?
I want to wash myself off. I'm
All
tired
right,
of
cool.
stinking.
And I can see you.
All right, yeah. So you're wiping your mouth clean, Blackie. As they become visible, you see they're just like body painted brown in some type of fecal matter.
So it's basically you guys just got back from the Friars Club with Ted Danson. Is that the most current blackface I could have done? Should I have done like maybe a Orange is the new black Halloween
somebody
costume.
did a blackface at a. Yeah, that's exactly it. Yeah, we just
It's hard to keep up with blackface these days. You know who's really good at it is Tyler Perry.
we didn't want the Nasher to smell us. But here's the thing: Nasher drank the water down, in a big way, and then went and laid down. We don't know if he's dead or not. But Bruce, would that?
Bruce says, how long did it take for him to lay down after he had his drinks?
That was pretty quick.
Bruce goes, he's dead.
Okay, good. Well, that worked out.
All right, good. Do we want to go and maybe put like slide a needle into his the base of his skull or something just to
I
make
don't
sure?
want to go back in that room because of the spiders.
Yeah, fuck that.
Okay.
Bruce says he's like, you know what's interesting, if the Nasher died, he's like, I've never, we could possibly stage a bit of a coup.
Well, that was the hope.
Yeah, he's like, we could.
Well, I'll tell you what. Why don't you? Now that Nasher's gone, why don't you guys go and free all the other rats, and we're gonna go back to the turn us back into people porter.
Well, Bruce says he's like, we don't know, it remains to be seen how effective your magic has been, but I believe if we are able to kill Gore, their leader, he's like, the curse will be lifted simultaneously.
All right, let's try that.
How are we going to do that? We're rats.
He's like, you must have faith, my friend. He's like, if we
How
get
many
enough,
rats are we? Yeah.
he's like, well, we can round
Because
up.
I saw Willard.
He says he explains that he can round up a huge force.
All right.
It's just the only thing they're missing is leaders.
Let's fucking do it then.
Okay.
Let's take them down.
So he says we just need leadership and we need a plan. He's like, I believe that we could our best way of taking one of the man rats out, I think, is through stealth and poison. And he's like, I can show you where their food is prepared, but it will require a distraction in order to get the poison into the food. He's like, I'll show you guys he's like, I'll sort of draw some ideas out of the territory, and then I'll let you guys figure out what the best way to do would be. But we would definitely need eyes to be taken away from the galley in order to do this, and that's going to be that's the hard part.
So you could float something by them to attract them away.
We could get a bowl of carrot soup, and it'll do the little like the scent will will like sort of like beckon it.
So he whips up, he basically whips up a little map, and he shows you that he's like, this is where they eat. This is like almost like their
mess
cafeteria.
Hall?
Yeah, their mess hall. But he says Gore doesn't eat there. Gore has his own private quarters, but we need to get the poison into the food in the mess hall. It's then taken to him, and once they take it, we won't be able to get to it. So you have to get it there while it has been prepared or just finished being prepared, and then it's taken into him. But the problem's going to be that you need to pull eyes off of the food in the kitchen long enough to get the poison in. So then he basically shows you the map of that, and he's like, there's going to be 3 man rats that are the cooks, that are the primary ones that you'll need to have finish or have started preparing those dishes for Gore at supper time or whatever, and you'll need to have them step away for just long enough for you to get.
Is there no way we can get it into the ingredients before they're put together?
Well, he says it's possible, but we just don't know at that point if it's going to be destined for gore or for the rest of the...
Well, I don't care if it kills all of them.
He's like, somebody goes in there invisible while they're cooking. The other person goes to town while the person becomes visible and runs out and tries to get these guys to chase him. I don't know.
Or we could, set something on fire.
Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Or dress up as a sexy lady rat.
If I conjure fire, though, if I'm invisible, will that make me visible once I...
But that's what I think.
As soon as you cast, your invisibility would be broken.
I think levitating something by them would work better.
Like something on fire?
Yeah.
Yeah, that would be kind of cool.
It's just we could make them go, "What the fuck is that?" And we could follow it.
Yeah, we could soak a torch or something, and then just sort of
fill a paper bag with shit, light it on fire.
Oh, I love it. We can wait till they put on their very expensive rat loafers.
So he basically shows you what he's like, we don't have to worry about the Nasher anymore, which is huge because it even invisible, the Nasher, he basically confirms for you now that the Nasher definitely would have been able to track you. It's like a hunter, so having the Nasher out of the way had to happen. But he basically shows you the the lay of the land there, and whatever the distraction is going to be, it has to at least get those 3 chefs gone for however long it takes for you to get the stuff into the bowl. I mean, it depends on what your delivery method is going to be. If it's something similar to what you just did, you'd need a few minutes to slip in, dump the stuff, have it dissolve a bit so that it doesn't just look like there's a bunch of sugar cubes that weren't there a minute ago, and then get out. So now this is sort of like a Mission Impossible scenario that you'll have to... It's a little bit like a reverse heist. You're trying to get in, plant the bomb, and get out. And whatever the distraction is the high risk.
Yeah, I mean, it can be something as simple as just running some rats through there to make them chase them out.
Yeah, we could do that.
Since we don't have to worry about the dog.
Do the rats know that the dog is dead yet?
Right now?
Sorry.
Not yet. You assume. I mean, it's only been a few minutes or half an hour since you've...
Let's take a quick break.
All right.
And we're back.
Ooh, man, that was breaky.
All right.
I'm broken.
Hey, can I run this by you?
Yeah.
I have a spell called Polymorph Self.
Okay.
And I can turn myself into kind of anything.
Okay.
So why don't I turn myself into a flying Nasher, and I sort of fly in and go, freak these guys out, and then try to get them to chase me out. Then as soon as they follow me, I'm going to change into something really small that they can't see, staying away from the ceiling where the spiders are. And when they're out, they do a thing. They won't know what the fuck is going on. Maybe I can and I'll maybe fly back into the room where the dead Nasher is. And they'll think it was some weird visitation.
I don't remember, but isn't there something with that though where you have to be comparable size-wise to the caster?
Yeah, well,
maybe. I don't really...
Also, I'm not sure how we're going to get the poison into the food. I guess they can all just carry it up.
I guess you guys would be... Rats. Well, you guys could be levitating or put it on one of those levitating things and be invisible.
Okay.
And then just kind of go in and do the same kind of thing. Just have
it ready outside the door. Wait for you to distract them.
Yeah, by being a flying dead dog.
You can...
when this spell is cast, the wizard is able to assume the form of any creature save those that are non-corporeal, from as small as a wren to as large as a hippopotamus.
Yep. That's a fantastic spell.
It is.
So, so I'm saying, I could even turn myself into myself again.
Yeah.
Go, hey, what's up, guys? And then when they come out to fuck with me, I could change into a needle snake or a hummingbird or whatever the fuck, and just zip out of there. Or I could change into... I figured if there's not enough mass that I would change into Nasher and then just fly around and fuck with these guys' heads.
Yep.
I like it.
Yeah, that's a kick-ass spell. And that lasts 2 turns per level, so you'll have...
16 turns?
16 turns. That's 160 minutes, just shy of 3 hours.
And Matt Penfield is going to play a couple of Dukes of Stratosphere videos for us. So it takes me four rounds to cast this, so I'm going to start laying it on me.
Okay.
And I can also. It also says that I can change into various things while I'm doing it, as long as I'm.
Yeah, as long as the spell is active, you can switch form. It's a kick-ass spell. I forgot how awesome that one was.
Yeah, it's one of my new ones.
Okay, so. Well, Blackie's cooking up a 4-round polymorph self. Do you guys have is the full plan in place? Well, hold on. Before this happens, it's going to be a little while before you cast this. It's going to be a little while before he can cook up enough poison to kill. He's going to have to create some more sugar cubes.
Okay.
So we're going to skip some time on that. It'll be another couple days. But in the meantime... lay it out for me and the listeners again. What's the full plan?
We're going to, while Blackie distracts them and hits a levitate on the sugar cubes.
I'll levitate the thing with the sugar cubes on it again.
Okay.
So that these guys can carry.
Just push it around.
Okay.
Han Solo.
Yep.
Well,
would you even need that if you're... Oh yeah. Well, would we even need to levitate that thing, or should we just
get it up into a bowl?
I mean, could we do the same thing again, where maybe you guys just throw some explosions or something, or set a fire with some oil, and I just do the same thing.
You do the levitating?
I do the flying and the levitating.
I was thinking that might work better. Yeah,
because it's not gonna. This won't be on the floor. They're gonna be cooking up on the counters.
Yeah, exactly.
So you'll have that'll be like a 100-foot cliff.
Okay.
You'd have to.
Right. So I say we get a bunch of rats to create a distraction outside of the kitchen. Mm-hmm. And I don't know if it's...
Because it has to be sizable enough to get... To empty 3 chefs out of a working kitchen, You'll have to be... I mean... you can't throw a pan around.
How about if we get some rats to come in and steal some stuff from the kitchen and make them chase them out?
Yeah. Okay.
We ask for volunteers, or
yeah.
Well, you guys, they're looking for you. You can pick. There'll be volunteers that'll follow you in, but they're looking for you to lead. These groups.
We could even do a thing where you guys turn invisible and then go in and free some of the other rats that are trapped in the other thing. And as soon as that thing, a mass exodus starts, then they could be distracted by that.
I just wonder if that would specifically distract the chefs.
Right.
Right. Okay.
And opening those
and bring them back.
Wielding the key would be tough too for that.
But we still want them to go back and finish cooking and serving the food.
Right.
As well.
Yeah.
That's the other thing. So it's a distraction that has to sort of end. Take them away. And then we can escape them and hopefully they'll come back to finish the cooking after you've put the poison in the food.
Okay. So, well then I'll just be ready to be invisible and flying.
So you're going to be the poison planter, and these guys are going to lead a distraction crew.
Yeah.
Okay.
And since it's 3 chefs,
yeah,
the 3 of us will each distract one of them.
Right. So and there will be you're going to spend probably setting this up, Blackie. You're going to spend probably 3 hours casting and relearning invisibility on the 3 of these guys, and we'll say that each of you, I mean Bart, Mildred, and Damien, will have 2 rats following. So it'll be 3 teams of 3. So you're gonna make 9 rats invisible, And the invisibility is pretty much, if I understand this right, is pretty much just going to be to get you there. Because as soon as the distraction starts, most likely your invisibility will break because you're going to be doing very unsneaky things.
Yeah. But that's fine. I imagine we will take, like, whatever it is, a ladle, a piece of food, drag it out into the hall. Once they've chased us out, we just run away and leave it in the hall.
Right. Yeah. So this is gonna be awesome. I'm excited.
Let's do it.
All
I'm
right.
set.
2 days. 2 days. You guys make new friends.
They're very impressed that we killed Nasher.
Yeah, I mean they've sent scouts in there, and Nasher is. It took a day, but
get rid of his corpse.
Nasher. No, they were just keeping an eye on it. But the next day, some man rats came in and kicked his corpse a bunch to wake him up, and then just drug him out by a leg, and that was the last you saw of Nasher's horrible body.
He's on the other side of the range.
Shit at all?
No, that room is just staying right there.
In case we need any, it's still
they're going to lose their security
the
deposits.
entire
Rats white trash? What the fuck?
The entire
Orders.
second day of poison prep, though, is sort of nerve-wracking because you're hoping that there's not another hound hog being brought in.
Hoping that, yes.
But there's not. 2 days pass, and Bruce, calls you guys in and shows you the new jam, and it's about double what you fed to the Nasher. Still something easily within your levitation powers.
Okay.
But it's now you look like a guy in a strongman contest pulling a semi-trailer full of sugar cubes. He completes all the poison prep, and it's go time now.
Let's do it.
We can cut through all the invisibility casting. So 9 of you, each of you has 2 rats that are following you, 2 volunteers, all invisible. Blackie, you're invisible. You cast the spells on yourself at the last minute because those have the shortest duration. So fly and levitate. You still have a couple hours. The one thing that we didn't really cover was how you're going to get the sugar cubes through the halls. Your distraction maybe one of your teams has to help clear the hall because there's going to be like a little like the bottom of a shoe-size platform filled with sugar cubes trundling through the.
Well, I'm
go
gonna
super high again. Yeah,
I'm gonna take it up and just sort of make sure there's no spiders up there too.
Okay, you're gonna try against the
over the top of everything.
Okay,
yeah.
So nobody notices.
Okay, that's probably a good strategy. You still got to be real careful because think of if you were walking down a hall and sugar cubes are floating along the ceiling, it would be still relatively noticeable. So you're gonna want to exercise caution.
Yes.
And you guys may want to, since the 3 of you are the sort of point teams, you may have to sort of on the fly figure out a way to clear some opposition out of the hall on the way. So
now, if we just make noise and whatnot, does our invisibility go away?
No.
No. Okay.
No.
Good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. So you can have all kinds of fun with that.
Yeah.
You just can't attack.
Right. You can't
or
attack
cast.
or be attacked.
Yeah. Can you cast? Actually, I thought I read there that you could. Let me just make sure. Because that could be something that is important here. Invisibility. Small items become invisible with you. Yeah, it doesn't really say. The wizard until the recipient attacks or until 24 hours have passed. A cast will break it. It says, it looks like because it lists clerical spells that don't break the invisibility. So I guess the assumption is that if you cast anything except for a bless, chant, or prayer as a cleric, then invisibility will break.
I'm not worried about that. I'm not casting anything.
Okay, cool. All right, so it's go time. Bruce, on the day of the attack, he decides that. Oops, yeah. Sorry, I wasn't sure if we were taking a break or not.
No, we have about 20 left, so let's get into it.
All right, so Bruce, he gives you the signal. He's like, all right, they're probably just starting to gather and, start making food for the evening, like the evening meal. He's like, this is as good a time as any. You guys have probably a 30-minute window where they're putting it together, and then we'll have missed it until the next day when you have to try it again. But you guys stack up. Spells are all, invisibility's all cast, and you guys move as like a little phalanx out into the room, keeping an eye out for any man rats that are on patrol. Are you following? How far back are you following behind these guys? Probably like corner to corner, like you're waiting for them to clear.
In case there's anything we need to distract, like draw somebody into one of the rooms in the hallway or something.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay. So as they get to a corner, you hold at the last one, and you just sort of are moving up step by step like that. So you guys run through the dark storeroom outside the entrance to the rat compound. Peek out into the hall. You're Blackie, you are in sort of a holding pattern there, waiting for everything to be clear. You guys move out into the hall. You move to the door, just like that. So invisible, you scutter, the 9 of you scutter along the floor, and you peek down for the first time. You look right down that long hallway that you guys had seen earlier, but you hadn't explored. It looks like the guards you saw before are regular. That looks like a regular post, because standing in the same spot is 2 man rats about halfway down this like seemingly endless hallway for how small you guys are. And they're standing with their backs to the wall on either side, the left or the right, and they're like talking to each other
about rat stuff, probably.
Stupid rat stuff. Blackie, you see everyone. Well, actually, you don't. Yeah, because they're invisible. You need some type of.
Well, I could probably.
I guess you could hear. They could make like a real low audible signal, like clacking a tiny little piece of rock on the wall. I don't know.
I could maybe also do a heat source on them. A little infravision heat source kind of a thing.
Yeah. As long as they're close, but a lot of these edges are quite a ways off. So, do you want to just do an audible thing?
Yeah, and I think no. If you can see us on a heat, then that's great. Then we don't have to worry about that.
I would think also if it's my spell, I would be able to know where the ripples were.
Yeah, I mean, it says that even allies can't see the invisible creature. So, I mean, I think this is like some real Harry Potter cloak shit. Yeah.
All right, I'll throw a bucket of paint on these guys. Just keep track of them.
So you get to that corner, then you look down there. You're definitely going to have to get these 2 out of the way, or one of them. If you get one out of the way, the cubes could go over their head.
Yeah. So let's move our way down with Blackie following us, still out of vision of these guards.
Yeah. So he's not able. This distance is too great for the heat vision.
Okay.
So you'll have to signal it'll have to be like a hold. You'll need like a hold and a go sound.
Okay.
It can be real low, something that like a human-sized creature would never pick up on.
Yeah.
But you can just
clicks and scratches.
Okay. So you signal Blackie to hold for a second. Then somebody should probably stay to signal go once it's go time. And then someone should go distract, I think.
And I think the plan is to are they near a doorway?
Hold on, let me look. Yeah, the one... The one on the left is standing with his back against the wall, right next to a door.
Okay. So I'm thinking we should sneak under that door and make noise inside that room, next to the guard.
Okay.
That could be good. Yeah.
Just so that he'll, turn around, check that. Maybe they'll both go in and check that room, and then you can sneak by.
So which teams? There's Bravo team. What's M in the military alphabet? Like Hotel, Charlie, right? I forget.
Maverick.
Mellencamp.
Team Mellencamp, and then there's Delta team. So who's staying?
Mahambo.
Who's staying on this corner to signal Blackie to go, and who's going in?
I'll go in.
All right.
With my two guys.
Mildred. I think Mildred. I'll be Mildred, and I'll ask Damien. Do you want to? You should stay. Signal go to Blackie.
Okay.
Whenever our distraction looks like it's working.
Alrighty.
So Mildred will run with you. So that's 6 rats forward, 3 rats back.
They go together like opposites attract.
Let's take a quick break again.
All right.
And we're back.
Oh, I thought you said quick break.
Okay, so Mildred, Team Mildred and Team Bart, you move down the hall. You run across the hall, and then run down, peek under the door that is behind the guard to the left. Mm-hmm. In that room, you see
10 Nashers.
No. You see piles of, and obviously you'll have to roll, Damien and Black, you'll have to just role play that you don't know this, but you see, it's like a weird junk room.
Perfect.
So it's just piled with there's things like bones and sticks and old tunics, and then mixed in with it all is stuff that the rats apparently don't find valuable, but seem very interesting to you guys. You see a pristine silver-framed mirror. You see there's coins that look like they're not dwarf currency, but it's some form of currency that you don't recognize. It's not gold. It just looks like some type of silver money, but the rats have just thrown all this shit in here like they don't care about it. But it looks like this would be a room worth going through.
We'll put that on the mental map.
Yeah.
Once we've staged our coup and killed all of the man rats and grown back to man size. So we're in there?
Yeah. This room, there's a torch in here. It's well lit. Obviously, all kinds of things to make sounds with.
And I think Blackie will know it's time to go when we make the noise and the guys come in and check the room, hopefully.
Yeah, well, Damien will see it
right,
and signal
and tell
Blackie. Yeah.
Got it. So, I mean, is there a pile of something we can push over?
Yeah, there's a pile of money.
Let's do that.
All right.
Push it towards the back of the room.
Okay, so you and Mildred and your teams of rats just set out, and it's just to make as much noise as possible, right?
Yeah.
All right, so you guys, your team attacks this pile of money. Mildred leans on this big, this bundle of you can't tell if it's firewood or some type of rods or staves or whatever. She leans on this bunch of sticks. Everything falls over at once. It sounds like someone's beating a piggy bank up with a baseball bat. Damien, you hear the faint sound of a bunch of money being poured on a floor, and the rats, both of them, in the hall. The first one turns, and you hear him you just faintly hear and he turns and he goes in, and the other big rat follows him to the door frame and stands with his hands on either side of it and is looking in. Looks like it. So that looks like it's go time. So he signals
up and around.
All right. So you see Damien under the door behind you. You see like a choo-choo train of sugar cubes go clear up to the ceiling.
Yeah, for the listeners, I made the signal to Blaine.
Yeah, he waved
my
his,
arms
he waved
like
his
I
hands.
was at LAX.
You guys, as soon as you tip the stuff over, you just scatter into corners.
Yeah, and go
just
silent.
Wait. Looming in the door is one man rat. He comes in. Nothing was really organized, so you'd be amazed if they were actually able to tell what had been disturbed in this room. Mm-hmm. And sure enough, as he comes in, he looks around, like quizzically, and he's like, "Did you hear that? It sounded like did you hear anything like coins and yeah, I heard it." And they're going back and forth. What the hell? You're going crazy. I'm not good. You're going crazy. And behind them, a little like sugar cube train you see across the hall, way up near the ceiling, just goes.
All right. When we see that, I think we signal to head after Bart. Head after Blackie.
Okay.
I am Bart.
And when you leave, you're gonna have to signal Damien to follow you because he can't see you either.
All
right. So you guys bail out, give him a little clickety click or something.
Kalakalo. Hooty hoo.
So you hear the go signal, Damien.
Damien, go!
You guys bail into the hallway and you continue running down the hallway. This is a vulnerable point. Because Blackie's exposed, or the sugar's exposed and on point. So it's like a little bit of a dicey section of the mission here.
Well, we might split and have one of the groups try to go ahead of Blackie and one try to lag a little behind.
All right, so I'm gonna roll right now and see what kind of activity happens here. All right, so the end of this hallway, the doors and the guards were halfway down. So as you move down this really long hallway, the end sort of starts to come into view. As this is primarily for you, Blackie, but the rest of you following the same thing. And you see that it ends in a T intersection. And you're following the sort of the mental map that Bruce gave you. You know you have to turn left. And you go through like a fairly low travel area, and that the kitchen's at the end of that left turn. So, Blackie, you get to the end of the hallway successfully without seeing anybody. No one's even crossed across at the end. And looking below you, you can see at this point almost even with you. Actually, you can't. You can't see them. I keep forgetting that you have to do all audio cues, but every now and then
clicks and sniffs and
okay. So every now and then you hear a faint click,
and some of these,
and
stop thinking Arby's,
and you know that they're basically catching the rogue squadrons on foot are basically catching up to you. So you all end up at the end of this hall at about the same time. So now you have to clear this left hall, and you look down. You don't see anybody for just a minute.
And then you see everybody.
No, but the guards behind you finish like wondering what's going on in that room, and they move back into the hall and take up the same positions they were at. They don't look down, and you're far enough away that it would be unlikely that they'd see you, but there's nothing concealing you. Just the fact that you're small and not moving is basically, and you're up near the ceiling. So now you're waiting here for this hall to be cleared before you start moving again. So that's up to you guys.
Right.
So you break left. You don't see anything now. There's two doors along the way on the right side, and at the very end, the hall, there's not a door. It just opens into the sort of mess hall. Okay. And through there is the kitchen. That's like the real high traffic area, though. So you, one more time here. Some encounter rolls. All right. So you run.
Gelatinous cube.
You run down the 3 ground teams are moving in formation down the side of this hall. You pass the first 2 doors uneventfully. Underneath the doors from across the hall, you can see that there is man rats in there. One of them, it sounds like one of them is talking, but you don't hear any response. So it's like he's talking to himself or something, or you're not sure what's going on in there. Okay. And the second room, you hear like thunderous snoring. So it looks like there's some bunked up in there.
Okay.
Continuing on down, you get to the mess hall at the very end. I guess this would be too far to signal Blackie, so you probably would have had to signal him right at about where the doors were to follow you.
Okay.
If that's what you wanted to do, or if you wanted him to hold up and wait for longer. It's tough, because you could go to the galley and then come back.
I say check it. Check to see how clear it is in the mess hall.
Okay.
And then bring him to the next step.
Okay. Okay, so you run down to the end of the mess hall as a group, and you peek into that room. That room is just filled with roughly hewn benches and tables, but it's totally empty. So, like, there's not... dinner hasn't been called yet.
Running back to signal.
As you turn back... and Blackie, you well, let me just ask you, as these guys do recon down the hall ahead of you, one of the guards behind you turns and starts walking your way. It doesn't look like he's going to see you. So do you want to rely on standing still?
Totally still.
Okay. So as you start to come back, you guys on the ground start to come back, you see a guard walk out of the hall that you just left. Okay. You don't hear any alarm raised or anything, but your heart like jumps up into your throat because he must have walked within 2 feet of where Blackie was.
Right.
From where you're at, Blackie, you can like smell the rat. It's like... he walks right beneath you, but he's just looking down and thinking about his little rat business. So, and he does not pick up on your position. So you get back. You can signal to Blackie.
And this guy's gone now? He's gone back?
Yeah, he turned right the opposit direction.
Great.
Yeah.
And he doesn't see any of the pee that's just materializing and falling out of the air in front of him.
No. So you hear the faint clicking.
The pee?
That's the go signal. So you...
I just went.
Yeah, you guys...
Click.
That gets you all the way to the galley. So now we'll say the best place for you to grab cover is just inside the door, the passageway, or the opening to the galley around the corner, so that if you're in the hall, you can't see you.
Okay.
As you get there, you see the galley's empty. They haven't called for dinner yet. You can hear crashing and banging around in the kitchen while the man rats are obviously cooking. So now that's on you guys. You run across the kitchen's it's like a diner. It's like buffet style. It looks like they just like bang out plates of slop and hand it through this chest high window to people as they file in, and it looks like they'll just sit at the tables and chow down. But you just run through like the opening on the side, and you're staring up at like a disgusting but fully operational kitchen. There's sure enough 3 man rats, all wearing like little aprons, no armor, and they're just sweating and spitting and
gross.
Yeah, cooking.
All right, so
but when we're here, we're family, you guys.
Where's Gordon Ratsey? So he can shut down this kitchen.
Yeah. Okay. So what's the plan?
I think we split off into 3 teams, and each one of us pick one of the guys, one of the chefs, and
just nibble his balls off.
Well, I'm thinking like grab some item. I don't know if it's a ladle or a piece of bread or whatever. Sort of knock into them to get their attention, and then run out the other door with it.
Yeah, I will say the shitty state of the kitchen actually works in your favor. So don't think like pristine stainless steel. There's like baskets and just nonsense piled up.
Great.
So as you get eyes on this kitchen, you realize like in a pinch with a levitated platform, one of you could have actually, it's easy for you to scuttle up onto the countertops. Like you can pretty much climb anywhere in this kitchen because it's just piles of rotten food and burlap sacks and baskets and boxes and all kinds of nonsense. So with a little like parkour, you can pretty much get everywhere in here. So.
All right. So let's pick the guys. Which?
So there's 3 guys. One is there's one in the back. He's at a giant there's like a little fire pit, and he's boiling something in a big pot. He's in the back near where there's like, that would be where all the pots and pans and all that stuff is set up. There's a middle guy. It looks like he's trying to like skin vegetables.
Okay.
But he's doing like a
Skin 'em alive.
he's doing like a terrible job. And the dude up front is he's washing dishes, but the dishwashing process looks like it just involves wiping the last dinner off with his hand and then getting the plate ready for the next dinner. So he's just one wiping these plates.
And where's the other?
And he keeps sucking his fingers clean too, like doesn't want to let it go to waste.
Where is the exit of the kitchen?
So it's actually again similar sort of to this. The entrance is
One end and
yeah, and then the wall is like not a full wall. That's like the bar opening, the front wall. And then there's 1, 2, 3 counters that divide the kitchen up. It's all open along the left side. So
all right. So I say we distract the one furthest away first. Get that one to leave, then get the second one to follow, and the third one to follow that one.
Okay. Yeah, should we take a break right now?
No, we're at an hour, so whenever you want to end
Oh,
it.
that's what I mean. Let's take a week-long break. I need a rest.
Okay.
All right.
Are people going to be mad at you?
People are always mad at me. I'm a shitty DM. Do you want to? Let's throw. I want to see how this distraction goes. You want to do a distraction real quick?
Yeah. Okay.
All right. Which of you 3 wants to handle the
furthest guy?
The soup.
I'll do
the
that.
soup chef.
All right.
Yeah.
All right. What am I trying to do? Just get him to follow me?
Yeah.
Right,
I would say grab something, hit him with it, or brush against him to get his attention.
Don't hit him. Well, you could hit him, but
not
you're
an attack. Brush against. Can you touch?
Yeah.
It's not an
you
attack.
could touch.
Yeah,
you could touch.
like against his pant leg or whatever, just to get his attention, and then
I'm going to grab like the
run it out.
smallest utensil and then just like run over his shoulder and hit him with it and then run.
That'll be
That's an
attackish.
attack. You can't attack.
So no.
It has to be real soft.
Okay.
Or you can do whatever the fuck you want as far as not touching him.
Yeah.
You could like knock a whole
Okay, yeah,
rack
well,
of-
I'll take a spoon in front of him so I'm invisible, right? So he'll see a fucking spoon
and
running
since you can
away.
get up on the
This
counter
is the
pretty
guy
easy.
who's standing
Yeah.
at the fire. There's a empty space in the counter where there's a fire, and he's got a big old cauldron, and he's stirring up a disgusting pot of nastiness.
And what I'm going to do is I'm going to throw the spoon some way when I'm bailing, so hopefully he follows that and not me.
Oh, okay. Okay.
He can follow you. You can drop it.
Yeah.
and just keep running.
Yeah, that's what I'm mean.
Yeah.
Eventually, the distraction may require the breaking of invisibility, but for this first phase,
see
you're
what
going to try.
happens.
Okay. All right. So, and this will also, to a degree, make. Now you're going to really have to be playing it by ear because you won't be able to communicate with each other.
Well, we'll see what happens with the first one and the second one.
You'll see the distractions, but the planning stages will be pretty much.
As soon as one exits, 2 starts. As soon as 2 exits, 3 starts.
And you can start shouting at each other too. That won't break your invisibility. In a pinch, you can break your silence. All right. So Delta team, Damien team moves to the back. You clamber up this big pile of like carrot skins and burlap bags and rotten bits of unidentifiable food, and you end up on the counter. That as you run to the end of it, dodging through like rudely carved wooden bowls and a whole bunch of utensils. At the end of it is the rack that is holding the pot that he is looming over stirring. Next to you is like hanging on the back wall is a whole bunch of that's like the pots and pans, which would make a big crash. The counter is covered in food and utensils and all that. So, I mean, it's up to you how you want to execute Operation Countertop Distraction.
I just grabbed the thing that's like the easiest to carry, but that like it'll still be visible to him.
Okay, so that'll be like a wooden spoon.
Okay. And then just fucking sprint by going, woohoo, and then bail.
All right. Are you gonna, because the area in front of him is fire, so you'll only be able to get up to the edge of that. You could try running across the rack that's holding the pot, but that puts you right over the boiling pot, which I don't think you want to.
No.
Okay. So you just want to drag the spoon around, get his attention, and then chuck it.
Yeah.
Okay. So you walk up to it, and you don't want to touch it because you don't want him to see it moving while you get ready. So you and your team, you sort of like are huddling up, and you're whispering really softly in each other's ears to try and be like, all right, on 3, we're picking this thing up, and we're going to throw it over there. Are you going to throw it towards the fire and the soup? Or are you going to throw it to the middle of the room towards counter, the second chef, or
towards the middle of the room so he turns around and leaves, right?
Okay.
Yeah, we want him to go away from...
Yeah, whatever will get him to go away.
From here, by the way, I should mention, because you're the farthest into the room right now, everyone else is still in a holding pattern. You can see on the front the guy who is wiping dishes clean. So he's just scraping with his claws just yesterday or this afternoon's meal off these plates.
Disgusting.
But next to him is like set out special. There's a big plate, a little plate, and a bowl that are made of like stone, and they're real shiny and they're real clean. And it seems very obvious that those are destined to be gore dinner. Yeah.
Okay.
And that's at the very front of the room. That's opposite where you're at. But so you're going to throw, for now, that's just an observation.
Yes.
All right. So you and your team whisper, huddle up. You get the shoulder, the invisible shoulder pat, and it's a go. And you're basically leveraging. 2 of you are going to hurl it, and one of you is going to try and use some rudimentary physics to help fling it. So you all get ready to do your little human or rat catapult. Ratapult.
I like what you did there.
And you spring all at the same time. Some of you put, 2 of you put like some downward pressure. One of you lifts up on the back of the spoon. Even from across the room, you guys just see a tiny little wooden spoon just flick up into the air. And it just lands in like a clatter in the middle of the second counter. The dude who's cutting vegetables like screams, and you see him. He's chopping like a bit of potato, and a big chunk of his main index finger gets just like lopped off, like just a 10-degree angle. But he's like, oh, son of a bitch! He's fucking screaming, and he's like holding it, and blood is like squeezing out between his fingers, and he's like, what the fuck are you throwing spoons at me? And the guy's like, I'm not throwing spoons at you, what are you talking about? The dude at the soup didn't even see the spoon, but now the 2, like all 3 of them are like focusing on the guy who cut his finger into the salad bowl.
They're probably not even going to make a new salad. That's why there's a bee out front.
They're huddling now. They sort of started huddling around him, and he's pushing the chef that was cooking the soup by you, and he pushes him back. Don't fucking touch me! I didn't throw a spoon at you. La la la. That's the stage of the distraction at the moment.
All right.
And then I do the thing, and everything goes perfect.
And we'll see how that goes next week, I guess.
Okay. Thanks for listening. I will be at Cobb's Comedy Club.
Oh, awesome.
Yes. In San Francisco.
Oh, not that one.
April 3rd, 4th, and 5th. Thanks for listening. See you next time.
Ta-ta.
This has been an Earwolf Media production. Executive producers Jeff Ulrich and Scott Ackerman. For more information, visit earwolf.com.
Earwolfradio.com